into entrepreneurship. The Youth Economy Agency in St. Lucia is what's expected to deal with every fabric of our community, every social ill within our inner communities. And of course, with this idea, we've seen over 200 applicants in less than 6 months of the establishment of this agency. It says to us that young people, were ready and waiting. They were beaming with fire. They were young people in their loins that wanted to be productive towards the economic development of their country. And so, with all these applications, we've had to understand that we have to deliver as a country. And so, the youth economy has forced young people to look within, forced young people to develop their ideas in a way that leads to sustainable business. And in business, there's one concept that I always speak to young people about, the concept of a USP, a unique selling proposition, because this is what sets your business apart from others. What can you as a young person deliver to your community, to your country, that perhaps nobody else has thought of? And so with the youth economy, we have persons who are digging deeper within. We have persons from the blocks who are seated there thinking, what talent, what capability do I have to contribute to my localis rather than sit on a block? This is the power of youth investment. And so I always say to young people, in the constituency of Grosley, we have over 25 barbershops. 25 barbershops, each sometimes with 2 or 3 barbers. I say to young people, what as a barber can set you apart from these individuals that you can get sustained financing to change your entire family? And I always give this example of this one barbershop in Montgiro, so they're getting a little plug today, that this is the only barbershop in the entire constituency that you can sit on the chair and there are TVs all around with advertising bays. So when you sit, you're not just staring in a mirror, you're seeing flash through a Blue Waters advertisement, so immediately you feel thirsty. You see a KFC advertisement, so immediately after you're like, okay, I'm going to stop at KFC. Immediately, right there at this barbershop. This is innovation. This is the only barbershop in this region where you can tilt back as a young man and get a nice scalp massage. And I can tell you, when I have the time, this is the barbershop I go to. So it's about digging deep. You may have an idea and you may say, so many people are doing it. But if you dig just a little more, you will find some aspect that can make your business unique. And so this is what this government is asking you. Dig deep. Think about it. The Honorable Philip J. Pierre is a prime minister that believes that if you find a job you love, you never work a day in your life. And this is what we are saying to young people. Find something that you love doing. I remember being, I would say, forced to love mathematics. I was a reader. Communications was what I loved. But I had to do mathematics. And we are not saying to young people, don't do what you need to do to pass your exams. But look further and find what you love. It is because when you find what you love and you develop what you love, you become a holistic, very holistic citizen. You become a productive individual. This, my brothers and sisters, we believe, is the secret to dealing with crime, is the secret to dealing with most of the ills we find. And so, as a government, we expect that we will see the eventual benefits of this youth economy agency. We believe in young people. We know that in CARICOM, 60% of the population are considered young, youth, vibrant. And we as a government, we've decided that we are going to them. So as the Minister of Youth, we've also said we're going to semi-professionalize football. So persons that are into photography, videography, physiotherapy, psychology can come towards the playing fields and find sustainable employment. Business is the way to go. Innovation is the way to go. So I encourage every one of you to enjoy this activity, to listen, interact, meet new friends, because when you do this, St. Lucia, the region, and the world will be a better place. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister, for that heartwarming speech. Who knew that the solution to a lot of our ailments in the Caribbean was just being passionate and be a tedious individual in pursuing your passions and doing it the right way, doing it the hard way. So thank you once again for that ever eloquent presentation. Now, I feel like I need to take off my heels to present this next person on the agenda. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the energy king, the ever powerful orator, Mr. Raphael Saul. And he will be delivering the feature address with a difference. We are at a youth fire after all, so he is bringing an Ignite talk. But of course, I have to tell you a little bit about Raphael. Nothing too embarrassing, Raphael. I hear Mr. Best grumbling in the front. He hasn't gotten over that bio. Mr. Raphael Saul is a 34-year-old business consultant, motivational speaker, corporate trainer, attorney with a passion for helping people achieve their full potential and helping businesses exceed their target. Born in beautiful Barbados, Raphael has always been a natural communicator and advocate, which led him to pursue a Bachelor's of Law degree, which he successfully completed with honors in 2009. After serving a number of years as a legal counsel, Raphael began speaking and consulting for companies in the financial services, insurance, and hospitality industries. With a global perspective, Raphael has led enterprise change management and integration projects, including program design and implementation throughout several organizations. Over the past 5 years, Raphael has become a sought-after speaker across the Caribbean, sharing the stage with international media personality Steve Harvey and working with several conglomerates to train teams in Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Jamaica, Belize, and Trinidad and Tobago. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just a side note, right? I had a little discussion with Mr. Saul, and I asked him what he was doing in Belize and if he enjoyed himself. And I had to do this background and investigation because I'd a born Belizean. So I had to ensure that he went there with positivity and good vibes, and most of all, that he enjoyed himself. And he did all of the above. So, Mr. Saul, thank you for doing yourself and your career justice in my beautiful home country of Belize. In June 2022, Raphael was a featured speaker at the Financial Service Professionals from around the world. Raphael is presently on consultancy with the government of Barbados as Assistant Director of the National Transformation Initiative. His favorite quote is from Nelson Mandela: "It always seems impossible until it gets done." Ladies and gentlemen, Raphael Saul.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's try that one more time. Perhaps we can increase the energy level in this room just a notch. Good morning. Let me start this the correct way. I'm honored, of course, to greet the Minister of Youth Development and Sports, the Honorable Kenson Casimir. I caught that just before I came on stage. I'm also, of course, honored to greet the most times, Honorable Mr. Daniel Best, the Director of Special Projects at the Caribbean Development Bank and my good friend. Representatives of the Caribbean Development Bank, our development partners, youth leaders, the real MVPs of these proceedings, fellow development enthusiasts from across the region, those who are watching online. This is an exciting time for all of us. I must, of course, also greet Mrs. Williams, the head of the St. Lucia Youth Council. It was a pleasure hearing you earlier, ma'am. Courage. The strength and willingness to do that which causes us fear. The things which cause us anxiety and the things which trigger in us a feeling of apprehension. Courage is the thing that empowers us to lean into what appears difficult and outside our current realm of possibility and capacity. It is courage that motivates us to drive through our challenges, to keep moving forward despite what can seem like insurmountable obstacles. It is courage. Courage is the thing that triggers in our minds images of heroism. A policewoman marching into a dangerous situation to apprehend the perpetrator of a serious crime. A fireman charging into a building that is raging in inferno in order to rescue a family from potential loss of life. Courage. In a recent article in the Harvard Business Review, courage was described as a concrete determining factor of business and organizational success, and courageous leadership was identified as a unique, strategic, and competitive advantage. Courage makes a big difference. And it is the thing that we lean into when we estimate that our current circumstances exceed what we perceive to be our level of capacity and certainly our level of present comfort. Courage. In many ways, fear grips us to the point where we are immobile. We're paralyzed almost, unable to perform at our best, unable to give our best ideas, unable to contribute in the way that ultimately we would like to because of our reservations, because of our hesitations, because of our misconceptions. And the way that we tackle that is quite simply through courage. It takes courage for a company, a consumer electronics one, to make a decision to tell the world, your mobile phones no longer need headphone slots. Years later, some of us are looking back and wondering why phones even had headphone slots in the first place. But courage isn't something that's unfamiliar to us as a people. It took courage for our ancestors to brave the perils of the Middle Passage. Labor under the tyranny of the plantocracy, yet never allowing the whips that sought to break their backs to break their spirits. And so today, traces of their resilience continue in our food, in our language, in our dress, in our flair and style, even for some of us in the way we laugh and carry on. A symbol of our heritage. It took courage for Sir Errol Walton Barrow in Barbados to stand before the entire world and declare that we will be friends of all and satellites of none. A statement which confirmed his belief in our agency, but also a deep conviction that we as a Caribbean people have the intelligence and collective capacity to chart our own destiny. It took courage for Sir Alexander Bustamante in Jamaica in 1962. It took courage for Eric Gary in Grenada in 1974. It took courage for Milton Cato in St. Vincent in 1979. And it certainly took courage for Sir John Compton in the Helen of the West Indies to lead this beautiful island to independence in 1979. So we stand, therefore, on a very rich and strong heritage of courage. And if ever we needed it, ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that we need that courage today. We are facing challenges that our ancestors never even contemplated. On the heels of a global pandemic that threatened to destabilize everything we'd worked to build over the last 50 years, now we are faced with the ravages of a global climate crisis. A situation not of our making and to which we made no contribution, but of which we are the victims. And now will we have the courage to make the kinds of decisions that are required to improve our level of economic and physical resiliency, to ensure that regardless of what the climate crisis might bring to us, we face it with the requisite level of preparedness and intent. It will take courage. When our financial system harkens back to the Industrial Revolution and the days of factories, and now needs to be dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century in a manner that aligns with the realities of our current small and medium enterprises, it is still too difficult for our upcoming businesses to access capital in a way that is affordable, that facilitates innovation and growth and scaling of our enterprises, that allows entrepreneurs to make the types of contributions that drive the development of our region forward. It will take courage. It takes courageous leadership on the part of our political forces, our policymakers, our regional development partners, to make decisions that drive our development forward, even where some of those decisions are met with political disfavor. It takes courage to potentially compromise political capital in the interest of regional development. It takes courage to create a legal and regulatory framework that makes sense of the world we currently live in and is an empowering and enabling environment rather than a disabling and invalidating one. It takes courage to make those kinds of policy decisions that are required to create the infrastructure our region needs to grow and develop. The Greeks had two very interesting ways of looking at time. One of them was a quantitative measure. The other one was qualitative. The quantitative measure of time, according to the Greeks, was the word chronos, from which we derive our English word, y'all sharp, chronology. Sequential passing of time, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, week by week. But the Greeks also recognized that beyond chronological time, sometimes there are opportune moments in time. For that, they use the word kairos. It is a word that finds its origin in the Greek practice of archery. Picture in your mind an archer drawing that bow back, waiting for the opportune time to release it in order that it hits its target. That kairos moment. A unique or opportune open window where the releasing of the arrow creates the greatest probability of success. Might I suggest to you, future leaders, that this is a kairos moment. As you gather together over these next few days with your colleagues from across the region, as you share your ideas courageously, as you plan and collaborate courageously, as you dream and imagine courageously, it is in so doing that you create the opportunity for that arrow to be released in a manner that catapults our region into the stratosphere, and it's possible if you're willing to be courageous. To believe in that thing that burns inside you, that fire. It is why Dr. Howard Thurman says, ask not what the world needs. Instead, ask what makes you come alive. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. So what sets you on fire? What ignites those passions deep in your heart that will push and drive you to do things that might seem to others as unreasonable, as unnecessary, but which you know are required in order to create the future for this region that we don't want, the future for this region that we absolutely need. And the power to do that, I want to respectfully submit, is in the hands of those of you in this room and those who are joining online across the region, those with a heart to see our future charting a course that realizes its full potential for all of us as Caribbean people and as Caribbean nations. We will not live our lives as victims. We will not find ourselves in 2030 and in 2040 and in 2050 making our cry only if we had done, only if we had decided, only if we had rallied the support of our troops across the region, only if we had been bold and courageous enough to do the thing that was in our heart to do. We'd have greater food and agricultural security. We'd have a better plan around our regional energy. We'd have ideas for innovation and creativity that are taking this region forward. And it requires your intelligence. It requires your innovation. It requires your creativity. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, it requires your courage. Your courage. Thank you so much, and I wish you a wonderful forum.
Engaging, energetic, and inspiring. Courageous, you see? Thank you, Minister. And thank you, Raphael, for delivering a powerful message on passion and a call to action. Now, recognizing that engaging, like we just did, and co-creating development responses with young people is the right thing to do and is essential for meeting development imperatives, CDB has established an institutional mechanism for youth engagement and empowerment and to promote youth mainstreaming in the bank's operation. In 2022, Mr. Best launched the call for applicants to the bank's Future Leaders Network. Today, he is here to witness its launch. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers online, we are joined today, and in person and online, of course, by 18 CDB Future Leaders Network members. 17 of its 19 borrowing member countries are represented, as well as the Caribbean Regional Youth Council, which holds a seat on the FLN. The network is also supported by 2 advisors, and I think I see one here today. Both of them are here today. Okay. All right, good. These are young people who have distinguished themselves in their respective fields of endeavors. They are a subset of young people who are developing solutions, disrupting with purpose, and driving change across the region. The FLN is a strategic network of creative, innovative, and highly engaged youth with diverse experiences, expertise, perspectives, knowledge, and demonstrated interest in CDB's areas of work, which includes gender, private sector development, energy, environment, economic infrastructure, legal, economic development, and youth development. The FLN is an institutional mechanism for regular dialogue between CDB and youth leaders on key development issues. Over a 2-year period, the members will perform a quadruple role. 1, as advisors to CDB on youth-targeted investments. 2, as advocates for positive youth development outcomes. 3. The development of strategic solutions to at least one development challenge. And 4, supporting conceptualization and coordination of in-country consultations with youth and the bank's annual Youth for Innovation and Resilience, or Youth Fire Forum. This simply means that the inaugural cohort over the next 2 years will plan and prepare in a slew of categories in addition to planning the next Youth Fire Forum. The FLN members and advisors will be key resource persons today and will take part in 2 days of personal and professional development and capacity building relevant to their roles and responsibilities. These include design thinking and ethics in development planning and starting the process of working to identify innovative solutions to support youth economic empowerment. The members and advisors of the Caribbean Development Bank's Future Leaders Network 2023 to 2025 are, and your attention will be brought to the screen as I call their names and their respective countries. Adeline Pierre, Haiti. This is a lovely picture, Adeline. Asha Gay Cowell, Jamaica. Bevan Charles, Grenada. Shimora McNee, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. David Henry, St. Lucia. Devon Carter, Anguilla. Esquire Henry, Antigua and Barbuda. Ferdinand Valmont, Dominica. Jillian Rowe, Barbados. Kendall Vincent, CRYC member. Romello Williams, Turks and Caicos Islands. Leshante Sampson, Bahamas. Rondell Bevon Ned, Guyana. Ruth Gutierrez Corley, Belize. Soraya Debbie Jagro, Suriname. Tiffany Scarrett, Montserrat. Oh, Tiffany is in Rotaract. Very nice. Steve Walters, St. Kitts and Nevis. Tahila Maloney, Trinidad and Tobago. Amilcar Sanatan, advisor. Shaman Joshua Williams, our second advisor. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our first cohort for the FLN. To demonstrate excellence in the arts and a nice little jam session to ease us through, I now invite Ezra Long to give us a cultural and vibrant presentation. Ezra, where you gasa? Ladies and gentlemen, Ezra Long.
Hey! Good morning to the youth. Hiya. How are y'all doing? Lovely. Our Ayanola nation is changing generations, so we need a seamless plan. As the older ones are going, the younger ones must flow into. This we all must understand to ensure our heroes don't disappear as zeros. Let's raise them publicly. Let their contribution guide our further actions. That's what we call their legacy. Yes, their legacy. to protect the legacy. Leaders of this land, understand, you must make a succession plan. There must always be a younger one like me, bubbling with zeal, like I feel I'm ready to take the wheel. Beat the drum, here I come, like a bomb, I'm explosive. The legacy of the mighty Pep. I am young, but I'm strong, and my songs are corrosive. And I know I'll earn your respect. So look at me, I'm the living legacy. What a mighty man, what this land, the Kaiso Dan, who has made a succession plan. Hey, oh yo yo. You're liking it? Let me now make it formal. My name is Desral Long, and performing is my thing. I grew up in a household where Kaiso is pure gold and strong, learning lessons from the king. This season you will find me, Dion and Pep behind me, spitting lyrics like a snake. If some nervousness entwines me, please treat me kindly. If I make a few mistakes with his legacy, I respect the legacy. What the mighty Pep as I step into his golden shoe, but I will always be representative of me. Genuinely me, you will see what succession planning can be. Beat the drum, here I come, like a bomb, I'm explosive. The legacy of the mighty Pep. I am young, but I'm strong, and my songs are corrosive. And I know I'll earn your respect. Oh, so look at me, I'm the living legacy. What a mighty man, what this land, the Kaiso Dan, who has made a succession plan. Hey, oh yo yo yo. Yeah. Thank you very much, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest.
How do you expect me to be that? I won't even put myself under embarrassment because I'll get a lot of side eyes. Desra Long, Calypso Monarch, thank you for that energetic performance. And I would like to thank you for joining us for this opening ceremony. And it has been an absolute pleasure in hosting for such a profound initiative. The Caribbean Development Bank must be applauded in its continued efforts in providing our region and the world with development capacity that we can all be proud of for years to come. Once again, I am Ronisha Gentle, and thank you all for coming, and thank you at home for tuning in. At this time, we take a break, and when we return, we jump into a day of dynamic sessions. Thank you, one and all.